Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. What this is a daily motivational show that we do for all of us out there fighting in this political revolution in order to move our country forward and change our government and our society into one that works for the people instead of big money and endless war. So please like and share, help get this out as much as you can, and comment. Any interaction in the show, smashing the like buttons, commenting, all of that helps us do better in Facebook's algorithm and get out to more viewers, so please participate. But thank you for coming to today's Daily Bern. I'm your host, Sean Yankee. Now, I started this show about 4 months ago because I wanted there to be a place where someone was telling the truth about what was going on in the world, but not spending all of their time on the negatives. And I figured we could have a show where we understand what we're up against, but instead of viewing it as impossible, realize that with our unity and work, we could change it. Now, this show has grown a lot in a short time, and today, on our 100th episode, I wanted to celebrate our progress and restate our purpose and vision moving forward towards victory in this fight. First off, I want to give a very big thank you to those of you who watch, participate in, and share this show every day. Steve, Royce, Nissa, Alyssa, Rob, Dion, Kyle, Jen, and even Clinton, who shares often even though he is a Trump supporter. He just admires our spirit and our fight. You guys inspire me to keep going, and without your support, I'd be speaking to myself each day, so thank you so much. We have grown quite a bit in a very short time, which reinforces in me that this was necessary, that I wasn't the only one that wanted to see a show like this. I hope that the message that I put out here each day inspires you in this fight, and I am honored that you have allowed me to be that voice for you. This was my idea. No one asked me to do this show, and it is a lot of work. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's rewarding as well. Now, I'm an amateur at this. I've learned a lot rather quickly, mostly due to great input and help from viewers along the way, but I am still not a professional at this in any way. My experience is in stand-up comedy actually, but I figured that I'm comfortable speaking publicly and this message needs to exist, so I did what I always do. I just jumped in the deep end and started doing it. And there's been a lot of struggles and hiccups along the way, as some of you know, but we're starting to look like a real show, and we're slowly but steadily building a following. And we have gone from averaging 100 views a day to getting over 300 per day. Shares and comments have increased dramatically as well. So all in all, the show's growth is doing great. Now, it's a lot of work, but I've come to love doing it, which brings me to my next announcement. This show is going to be permanent. This show is going to keep going, even past Bernie's election to the presidency. We need a show like this out there in our fight. Plus, doing this show, while challenging at times, makes me a better person. I have to build myself up daily to do this show, and I get my mind right before I speak to you guys each day. And that is helping me grow as a person, and more importantly, begin creating the change that I want to see in my life right now. And within a year, I hope to find a way to incorporate this show and others into a kind of a network or a channel that provides good quality shows for you and gives me a way to live out my gift. This show has inspired me to change my life starting now, and I hope it has inspired you as well. That was the point after all. Motivation is very important. Motivation is what drives you forward. You have got to feed the desire in your mind and build up the courage to fight on. Believe in yourself and your ability to achieve what you want. Putting the right things into your mind will help you get the right things back out. Strengthen the voice in your mind that wants better for you in the world and destroy the weak voice that always just wants to quit and do what's easy. The one that you feed and focus on will end up being the stronger one. So will it be weakness or strength that you feed? I will be feeding strength inside myself and here on this show every day. Weakness can fend for himself. I'm done supporting him. He's done nothing but drag me down, and that's all he will ever do. He can starve. From now on, I only run with lions, winners, people who have the same goals and ambitions as me, people who dream big and have no self-imposed limits on what they can and cannot achieve, people who get up when life knocks them down, and people who fight harder when times get tough and they never quit. So I'm tired of hearing no. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing how we can't do it. It's too hard. It's too rigged. Nothing can be done. That's bullshit, and it's lies. Those are weak thoughts from defeated minds. This can and is being done right now. And those of us that can see that are out here doing all that we can to see that it does get done. Now, I include a link in the description of every Daily Burn to berniesanders.com. Please go there and see if there's any way that you can help out the campaign by becoming one of the almost 3 million of us that are already volunteering to help get Bernie elected and move this revolution forward. Or donate any amount, $1, does not matter, any amount that you can donate. We bought a politician. Bernie only takes money from the people. So if you have anything to donate, please do. And that would be great. But while you're there, and I've been asking this for a long time, get a bumper sticker. They're about $5. Put that on your car. You'd be amazed how much that does. Just by driving around like normal, you're supporting the campaign. Little things like that really do make a huge difference. And you would be amazed at the conversations and opportunities that that bumper sticker will open up. Try it out. Those are the things that are going to win this for us. They really are. The little things. We need to inspire the others. Wake them up by sprinkling information gently. Guide them by example and be the change that we want to see starting right now. We don't have to wait, and we shouldn't wait. This is ours, all of it. We can start changing things right now in our own lives, and that's what we need to focus on anyway, ourselves. Work on you. That's all you can truly affect anyway, so focus on that. You are part of a massive movement that is going to make real change, but you're just one person in that movement. Own this fight, but know there is only so much that you can do in it. Remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Use your strengths and know your limits. Then commit to doing what you decide you can do to help us to win, and do that every day. Do it even when you don't want to, when you don't feel like it. See, it's easy to do something when you feel like it, when you want to do it, but it takes work to push through the weakness when you don't want to do it. But you got to keep going. Keep moving forward, because that is how you win. That is how you reach your goals, through hard work and perseverance. Now, this will be hard. It is rigged. They will fight us every step of the way. But we can do this. All that we have to do is all that we can. And we will win. Not Bernie, us. Now, thank you all for coming to the 100th episode of the Daily Bern. And if you shared, thank you so much. That helps more than you know. And this message needs to spread and get out there, so thank you. It's really amazing to me that this show has caught on and done as well as it has. That we've made it to 100 episodes is amazing for a couple different reasons. There have been times where I didn't think we were going to do this show anymore. You know what I mean? I have been in tears trying to prepare to do this show. You know, because I am not a optimistic person. I'm not a motivational video type of guy. You know, when I took this on, like I do everything really, I just jumped in the deep end. You know, I wasn't thinking it through that, you know, I have hard times sometimes like anybody else. And how am I going to get on here every day and tell people that we can win, tell people to keep fighting and keep moving forward? And the answer to that question ended up being, I'm going to have to push myself and do what you say every day, practice what you preach. So doing that has been helping me grow. Like I can see and tell a difference in myself just from pushing myself to do this show every day. And I mentioned this in the monologue, but it has also helped me realize that this is what I need to be doing, a version of this. Not this in particular. This show I look at as volunteer work, as something that I do as my way of helping out the revolution and to push us forward towards victory. But I want to incorporate other shows. I want to keep doing this one, like I said, but I want to build a network. I want to do this full time. Find a way to make a living doing this. And I'm giving myself a year to do that. But this show has brought me to that point. This show helped me unlock that. You know, um, I say I've done stand up and I love stand up. And it's not that I won't ever go back to stand up. It's not that I'll stop doing stand up. It's just that this I love. This is something, talking to you guys, it's going to be a lot more exciting once we get the new computer and we're able to do live feeds again. That's going to be really exciting. This has been kind of good and bad. Some of you that were here in the beginning know that we started off as a live show, and we will return to that. We had to go to pre-recorded, just broke the fourth wall, um, out of necessity because my computer just can't handle it. And I'm saving up for a new computer, and we're going to have that problem fixed. And once we do, we'll be back to live. And that's going to be great because that's going to open up the discussion. A lot of these episodes, even with me pushing to comment, they sometimes get only 9-10 comments in an episode. And sometimes it goes crazy. It is hard to tell. But when there's a live feed, there's an ongoing discussion. It just happens. So, and interactions in the video really do help it go out and get out to more people. So that's important. And it's just more fun. I enjoy the live version of the show, and I think that's going to be better once we get back to that. But I'm thinking a bunch of different things. Like, I have a conspiracy theory show that I do. That would be something that would be on the network. And the network at this point is probably just my YouTube channel. Me on Things and Stuff is the name of that. I'll put a link in the description if anyone's interested. I archive every Daily Bern there, and I do other videos. I named it Me on Things and Stuff because it's a little bit of everything, and that's what I see the channel being. And eventually I want to have other contributors, a network, kind of like what TYT could have been if TYT didn't sell out, or what maybe RT almost is, but not foreign owned. Something where you can trust, a source you could trust for news that you could rely on, and then also entertainment. That's what I see this becoming. But this show is going to stay focused on the revolution and our fight moving forward. And I'm all in this fight, and that's the way that we got to be. We've got to be all in, 100%. And, I think the way we do that is by spreading the message, by inspiring people, by getting stuff out there like this.
Thank you all for coming out and standing up for justice and for saying loudly and clearly, enough is enough. We are not going to see democracy undermined in the United States of America. The only way we make the changes that we have to make is when millions of people come together. And that is exactly why I am here today. We understand that nobody, no matter their race, their religion, their disability, or their sexual orientation, should not be able to realize the full potential of being an American. When we do not allow them to divide us up, when we stand together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Let's do it.
Now that is what it's going to take to beat Donald Trump. That is what is needed to move this country forward. Bernie inspires people. That is Bernie's gift. You live in your gift. See, Bernie's living in his gift, and it shines off of him. You can tell. He is great at explaining things to people, great at motivating people, great at encouraging people, great at teaching and informing people. and most importantly, organizing people. Bernie is a populist. Trump is a populist. Right now, I want to talk to people that might be on the fence and think that maybe we're being stubborn. We're being realistic. This is what you have to do to win. These half measures won't work anymore. That is how you got Trump in the first place. You really, really, really need to accept reality of how things got where they are right now. How we ended up with the orange boogeyman in the White House. Once you really accept the truth of how that came to be, we can move forward. We can win. And we're going to do all we can to make sure that we do win and that we do move forward. And I realize that you're going to be kicking and screaming right along with the establishment and the powers that be because change is scary. People are afraid of change. They don't want change. Things that are new and different scare people. So even regular people are going to fight us in this movement. But we are going to win. And something like what I just showed you with that Bernie ad is what it's going to take to win. You're going to have to inspire people. We are going to have to get 60% of people cannot even be bothered to vote. That's our market. Quit bickering back and forth, fighting and squabbling with the same little group. We pretty much already picked our teams. There's 60% of the population out there that is of legal age that doesn't vote, that could. We need to inspire them. We grow our movement that way. And someone like Bernie does that. Bernie inspires non-voters. Bernie inspires independents. Bernie unites all these people, brings them together. It's what you have to have. Because I could show you a little video made by a Trump supporter. Trump has massive support. Huge rallies. Don't take him lightly. No, not approving of him, not just being realistic. You run an establishment shill against Donald Trump, you get 4 more years of Donald Trump. You run Bernie Sanders, you get President Bernie Sanders. And then you get real change. You get the possibility of changing the government, of electing and replacing these paid off shills who do nothing but block progress. That's all they do. Like someone like a Mitch McConnell that only blocks progress. It's his whole function and purpose. We need to get rid of all of them. People like Nancy Pelosi, who have enriched themselves to almost $60 million on a salary of what? Less than 300,000. I think it's only 100-something thousand. How do you get to be worth 60 million? You know how. I know how. And that corruption, that needs to go. You can't have this handful of billionaires owning our government and having control over our lives. We can't allow it anymore. And we have to stop it. And the reason I showed that clip was to help you understand Bernie inspires people. That's what's going to do this. That's what we need to move this forward. And we must move this forward. We cannot go back. We can't give an inch. We have got to fight. And a better opportunity just isn't coming along. Now, this is our fight. And we have got to take full ownership of that and do all that we can if we want to win. Now, people think we're unreasonable, that our standards are too high, but those people have been convinced that they deserve less than what they actually do by people that have more than they will ever need. And this hoarding of wealth and resources into the hands of a few is not only madness, but it is doomed to implode. This system that we live in, this greed-based system, is designed to collapse. And that's a fact. And things are bad, but trust me, they can and have gotten worse, and they will again. We are on the verge of massive economic collapse in this country, and real change is needed to reverse the spiraling down of our economy. Now, it's hard to have a capitalist economy when people don't have money to spend. Consumers have to have money to buy your cheap Chinese products, you know. And what we're asking for here, it's needed. I know that you've been told that we're all just Bernie bros that live in our parents' basements and want free stuff. lazy, unrealistic dreamers with our heads in the clouds and no idea how reality actually works. But the truth is, we're your neighbors, your coworkers, your friends and family, and we want what is best for all of us, a better life and dignity, a society that works to benefit the people that it represents instead of corporate welfare and endless wars. We are the canaries in the coal mine screaming that time is running out, and we are not going to cave in or back down because we can't. It isn't that we're stubborn. It isn't that we're big babies that want free stuff. What it is that we can see the writing on the wall. We see the danger coming our way, and we know that half measures and compromise are done. They won't work. We realize that this is our fight, and we realize that losing this fight means death for us and this planet. So we will not quit. We will not back down. This train moves forward only. So you can join this revolution and help us or get out of the way. But you cannot stop us. We're coming to take what we deserve, and we will not be refused. We are going to overwhelm them with our numbers, and our momentum will push us forwards towards progress. This is going to happen. Just look at all that we've accomplished so far. We have almost 3 million volunteers signed up and actively working to help move this revolution forward and get Bernie Sanders elected president. We've had almost 3 million individual contributions, people reaching into their own pocket to support this movement and to support this revolution, averaging $18 a piece, totaling almost $30 million. We are allowing Bernie to run at a front runner level. We are the front runners. Think of how far we've come momentum wise from where we were in 2016. We are in a much better spot. Now let's highlight and look back on some of the events that the campaign has gone through in the last few months since we started doing the Daily Burns. Let's head over to the newsroom. One of the first things that I want to cover is the campaign has started their own newsletter that covers actual journalism and even has original pieces called the Bern Notice. Now this is the actual newsletter here, and see it has a story today from the Daily Beast. The headline is Bernie outraises Biden and Obama Trump swing counties. But they're going to cover the stories that other people bury and feature them, and so that you can see the relative news to the revolution that they hide, like this piece from HuffPost, and then there's another one from Huffington Post. But there's all kinds. There's Vice, Vox, Bloomberg, CNBC. It's a mesh of all the news. What they do is they go through and find the relevant stories, the things that we want to hear about, and they put them in the Bern Notice. So subscribe to the Bern Notice and follow that newsletter. That is really cool. The next thing that I think the campaign's doing that's awesome is this Bern app. They have a phone app now for the campaign, and you can get it anywhere you get a phone app from, or go to the link that you're seeing on the screen right now. But it's the Bern app, and it's the official app for the Bernie Sanders campaign and for the revolution. And it keeps you in touch with all kinds of news, and also allows you to do cool things. Like there's a My Bernie Story thing where you record a short video while you support Bernie Sanders, and then you can share that out to social media and connect with friends, all kinds of things. So check out the Bern app too. The other stories I'm going to get into in the 100th episode's news today is just focusing on what the campaign has been doing, which has been focusing and killing it on these big issues. Like Bernie unveiled his climate plan, a $16.3 trillion plan that sets a definite tone. It definitely lays down the hammer and says that, first off, that massive change is needed, massive, $16.3 trillion, and over 15 years, and that it has to happen now, and it lays it out. And better than that, like all Bernie plans, it makes sense financially. It pays for itself. It actually creates profit and creates jobs. But it sets a standard and a tone now. The Democrats didn't even want to have a climate debate. They don't want to talk about it because they're in the pockets of these corporate business interests. They got to go, and that's what we're doing here. So this plan is amazing, though. Go through and check out Bernie's climate plan. But they're doing a lot of really good things on very important issues and bringing focus to them. Even when they try to divert him, like during the debates, and they try to throw him a curveball, Bernie always redirects and gets it back on the issues. And they're working on important issues that benefit us all, like the climate and doing something about the destruction to the planet that we're currently responsible for. Well, like I was saying, he's out there fighting for these issues. They are fighting Medicare for all with all they have right now. The propaganda is being laid on so heavily about Medicare for all. I saw a scare ad while I was on vacation about a month ago, and I don't watch any regular TV, but I was in a hotel room and we were watching, and it was a 75-second commercial, and it was wall to wall fear porn trying to scare people about Medicare for all. Well, Bernie's been pushing and pushing and pushing, and he just made a tweak. And his Medicare for All plan is now 100% solid as far as I'm concerned. And the tweak was union members were concerned that they would lose their insurance. They've negotiated these really good benefits packages with their companies, and they're worried, well, they're going to lose that. Bernie took care of that. What he did was he added onto the bill that these companies have to pass on all the savings that they're going to get with Medicare for All, which is going to be huge for them because companies won't have to supply you with health care. They don't have that expense anymore. So he's saying what they got to do is pass those savings on to their employees in the form of wages and benefits and things like that. That these companies can't just pocket that savings. They have to pass that on to their workers, which satisfies the union people, and the union support has been great. UE is the first major union to come out in support of Bernie Sanders so far, but I think you're going to see a lot more join in. And that's really going to do it for the news today. Today I wanted to focus on what we've been doing, what we've accomplished, what we've gotten done so far, and the campaign is literally killing it. Um, as far as Bernie events go, usually I always cover what the campaign is up to. My source has not announced where they're heading next, so I don't know yet. But if you text Bernie to 67760, you will be among the first to know about everything that's happening in the political revolution. Because doing that will enroll you in the texting service, and volunteers like me that do the texting will send you out information about events relevant to you and things in your area that have to do with the revolution. Or like I said during the news there, get the Bern app. That's a great way to stay in touch with the campaign too. Or you could just watch the Daily Bern every day. I'd really appreciate that. And that is what the campaign is currently up to, and we've reached the end of our 100th episode of the Daily Bern. Now, I've been saying that as the lead into my closer here every episode because when I finish one of these, I'm actually kind of amazed. As I said earlier in the show, this show forces me to grow. I am not an optimistic, big dream type person. Um, I can be very negative, but these shows are getting easier for me to do. But there have been days I was laying in the dark, literally crying, feeling like I just couldn't keep going, couldn't do this anymore. Many times along the way, I've wanted to quit. But every day, I sit here and I tell you to push through the pain, to do all that you can, especially when it's hard, and you will win. And I tell you that because it's true. Now, that weak voice in our heads that wants us to quit, it's right too. When that voice tells you to go ahead and give up, to quit, all the pain and struggle will stop, and you will be safe again. No more hard work to do, and you can lay in the dark and just give up. You can, but you shouldn't. And I no longer will listen to that voice. I am going to silence it as much as I can and focus instead on what I can do. Now, I can do whatever I want to do as long as I am willing to commit to it and put in the work. And I am. I will only be involved with people moving in the same direction as me. Forward. Ahead. People with big dreams, big goals, and aspirations. Because I'm done thinking small. I'm done accepting no as an answer. I deserve better. We all do. So let's go get it. We're going to have to take this. No one is going to give it to us. We will be defined by how we react to what they will do because they will fight us to the end. But we must win. We must overwhelm them with our numbers. Every voting opportunity or chance to show our force, we need to be there in mass. Every caucus should look like a Bernie rally. If we do that, they won't be able to stop us. They will use every weapon against us, but in the end, if we stay united, we will win. Not Bernie, us. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and celebrating our first 100 episodes. And I will see you tomorrow morning as we begin the journey towards 200 episodes, onward towards victory in this fight, and even further, onward then. We don't stop. This don't stop. We are going to do this. We are going to win. Thank you guys for all that you do, and I will see you right here tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for a brand new episode.